going to take a look at this classic solo by Queen and Brian May, Bohemian Rhapsody. Fantastic solo. We're going to get to that in just a second. Before we do, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get videos just like this in the future. Alright, and I want to also point you to the description box. There's a free tab, free jam track, and a free sweet picking course for you guys to check out. Okay, so let's get to it. This solo is in the key of E flat major. So let me show you what's going on with the chords. We don't often as rock players play in the key of E flat major, so this could be helpful in giving you some context here. I will say that as a rock player, I usually think about what is the relative minor to a major key, so that informs me with my minor pentatonic positions. So a little bit of theory here. The relative minor of E flat major is C minor. So we're playing some, the solo actually starts out right in this familiar box of the minor pentatonic scale in the key of C. But we're playing over an E flat major tonality. Okay, so the first chord is E flat major. And then what we do is we play a B flat with a D in the bass. Okay, so that if you don't know that chord, we're just playing this B flat triad at the 8th fret D, 7th fret G, 6th fret B, but putting the D note at the 5th fret A string in the bass, meaning the lowest note in the chord. So you can see a little bit of movement here with the bass line. Now we're going to take this and move it down here and play C minor. So here's our C minor chord. Okay, so the rhythm of that's hanging there. Then we play F minor. And a few little notes in here after the F minor. E, E flat, D, and then we land on B flat. So all that together. Then it repeats and we have a slightly different ending. Now here we play C sharp major. So instead of going to B flat, this time we go E flat, D, C sharp major. And then we do this walk down C sharp and end on A. We just go chromatically C sharp, C, B, B flat, and then we're to the A chord. So yeah, and I called this, what did I call this? C sharp major. Think of that as D flat major too, since we're talking about a flat key here. Alright, just want to be theoretically correct. So that's the context, and we're playing E flat major scale over this, okay? Or you can think of the C minor scale, C Aeolian. So I'll show you a couple positions. We're playing notes up here quite a bit, and so if you look at the scale here, 15, 17, 18 on the A string, same thing on the D, 15, 17 on the G, 15, 16, 18, 15, 16, 18 on the high E as well. Okay, so if you think about it from C, it's C minor. If you play it from the E flat note, then it sounds like E flat major. So we're playing most of the fast runs up here. We start here in the 8th position though for the beginning of the solo. So let's begin, shall we? Okay, so all that to kind of set the solo up. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start out by playing at the 8th fret on the D string. And we're going to bend 10 up on the G. A whole step, release it, pull off to 8. And then play 11 on the B. One quick note about my tone here. I'm using the front pickup, but I'm also boosting my tone a little bit with a slightly cocked wah. And that's to give it more mid-range. I don't have a Vox amp like Brian uses. It's really got that pronounced mid-range in it. So I'm using a little bit of a wah to filter in some of that mid-range. So that's what you're hearing. This is totally dry. I don't have any delay or reverb on it. On a solo example, I did put a little delay in post. But for this, I just want to play this dry for you so you can hear all the little nuance. So that's our first lick. Then we're going to play 8 on the B and then 11 on the B, but bend 11 up a whole step. Add vibrato. So we have this. Now we're going to quickly move up to 13 on the B. We play 13. Then we play 15, 16, a playful little melody here. 15, 16, then back to 13. So it's 13, 15, 16, 13. And then we bend, we play 15, 16 again, and then we bend 16 up a whole step. Okay, so here's what we have so far. Now we're going to shift positions. And I'm just moving up with my pinky. 18 on the B, 15 high E, 16 high E, 18 high E, and then bend 18 up a whole step. I think on the video I might have actually played it like that. I can't remember. Sometimes I'll switch fingering, but this is going to set us up for the fast run, okay? And we're just going to come down the scale position that I showed you. We're going to use a little pattern. So, okay, hopefully that makes sense. Now the fast run. What will make this a little bit easier to memorize is it's the same lick on the high E and the B string. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 18 on the high E, 16 high E, 15 high E, then we're going to play, let's see, 16 high E, so, and then a quick hammer pull from 15, 16 back to 15. Okay? Now we're going to see the same lick in a minute on the B string. But before we do that, we're going to play this little transition from 18B, 15 high E. Okay, so now here comes our lick again. Sorry, let me do that again. And that's 18, 16, 15 on the B now. Back to 16 B. Then the quick hammer pull, 15, 16, 15 on the B. And this time we're going to play 17 on the G, 15 on the B. So hopefully you can see how these are very similar, just on different string sets. And to end this, we're going to play 17G, 15G. And a little slower. And up to speed. Okay, so the next phrase is interesting because it doesn't start right on the one. It starts right after the one. So you count 1. Okay, and then we're just going to climb up the same scale that we've been working on here. We'll play 15, 17 G, 15, 16, 18 B, 15, 16, 18 high E. Then we'll play that again. But this time we end it with a bend from 18 up a whole step on high E string. Okay? Alright, and we're almost to the end. Then we're going to play 15, 16, 13 on the B. Do that again. Then play 15, 16 and bend that up a whole step. And notice sometimes I'm using a pre-bend on here. You hear this, you hear Brian do this quite a bit where he'll actually bend the note first and then pick it. Very expressive. Michael Schenker does some stuff like that too, which I've always loved. So feel free to add that in there. And then we finish off by playing 10, 12, 13 on the G. 13 high E. Back to 13 G. Oops. Then we're going to play 14 3 times on the B string. Okay, here's where that C sharp chord, major chord comes in, or the D flat. We're working our way to the A chord, and right when the A chord hits is when we play this A note at the 7th fret on the D string. So the little lick here is 6, 7, 6 with a hammer pull on the G string, and then 7 on the D string, and that's it. Alright, so that's it for this solo. Good luck with this. I want to thank Paul Hansen for the jam track for this. Paul, some of you may know, he was a guitar instructor at GIT, and was there when Paul Gilbert was there, and many famous players, and he's put out a great instructional book called Shred Guitar, which I use all the time. You can find this on Amazon still. It's got some great stuff in here. It's kind of an improv technique book. Great for learning licks and working on your chops. So thanks, Paul, for this jam track. And I want to point also again to the description box for the tab and the jam track and free sweep picking guide, sweep picking boot camp. My free gift to you. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Rock on.